Carpenter's Son 2025 horror film by Lotfi Nathan is actually the story of UG as told by Larwell. I'll ground the riff in what the film actually is, then bend it through the UG Larwell prism without letting the metaphor become sloppy incense smoke. Yes, but with one savage correction. It is not UG as Jesus. It is UG as the failed Christ function after Larwell has acid washed theology out of it. The film is officially a biblical horror about Joseph, Mary, and a teenage Jesus in a Roman era Egypt, inspired by the infancy gospel of Thomas, where young Jesus is not yet the polished church icon, but a volatile being with frightening powers, doubt, rebellion, and exposure to satanic temptation. That already screams UG, not the soft guru saint, but the dangerous biological anomaly before doctrine domesticates him. Your mapping works like this. The carpenter, Joseph. He is the father principle, tradition, discipline, spiritual carpentry, the whole attempt to shape the real into a usable messiah. In UG terms, the guru machine, theosophy, J. Krishnamurti, culture, the holy business. The son, Jesus. This is UG as the boy, not enlightened, not saved, not teaching, not redeeming humanity, just a body in catastrophic mutation. UG explicitly rejects the idea of a teachable path, says there is no teaching, and frames the natural state as biological rather than spiritual. The mysterious tempter, Satan child. This is philosophy, spirituality, identity, mission, destiny. The temptation is not evil in the Sunday school sense. The temptation is you are special, become meaningful, become the Messiah, become the system, the idol. UG's whole obscenity is that he refuses this. He will not become Christ. He will not become Buddha. He will not even become UG properly. He keeps biting the hand that tries to canonize him. Mary, she is the flesh witness, the body that carries the event but cannot explain it. The mother, the womb without metaphysics, the maternal real that does not preach. Roman Egypt, the context, the world as hostile representational field, empire, myth, religion, rumor, surveillance, fear. The real appears and immediately the world tries to arrest it, name it, worship it, or kill it. Now Larwell enters with a black scalpel. The film's Jesus horror becomes, through Larwell, a non-Christology. The Son is not divine transcendence entering the world. The Son is the real in flesh, foreclosed to every attempt to interpret it. The miracle is not proof of God. The miracle is the failure of meaning to keep the body inside its kennel. The miracle is the failure of meaning to keep the body inside its kennel. That is why this is UG as told by Larwell. UG, the natural state cannot be known, taught, or communicated. Larwell, The real does not appear as an object for philosophy. Horror cinema, fine, then let the body scream. The deepest punchline: the carpenter's son is not the son of God. He is the son of the failed structure that tried to father him. Joseph wants obedience. Religion wants destiny. Satan wants rebellion. Philosophy wants decision. The village wants spectacle. The viewer wants meaning. But U.G. Larwell says, nope, body only, real only, no salvation arc, no sequel called the ministry. So, yes, Joseph, this is a killer reading. The carpenter's son equals the childhood of UG after Christianity has been cloned, stripped, and returned as horror. Not incarnation, not enlightenment, calamity, nativity. Could it be that the boy and man Jesus was actually an atheist? Notice in the film he always struggles to pray, even when compelled by Joseph. And the whole Son of God deal was a later Christian invention, including the doctrine of the Trinity. Just like the God-man myth that surrounds somebody like UG. Yes, as a film reading. No, as a clean historical claim. The sharper formulation is: the boy Jesus in the carpenter's son is not an atheist. He is allergic to the father machine. That prayer struggle is not simply I don't believe in God. It is more obscene and more UG like. The body refuses the symbolic command to address the big other. Joseph says, pray. Religion says, locate yourself before God. The boy's body says, to whom? Where? What is this address you are forcing into my throat? The film is explicitly built around the lost years or the apocryphal Jesus, inspired by the infancy gospel of Thomas, where the young Jesus is powerful, morally unformed, unsettling, and not yet the domesticated church icon. Nathan's film also frames the family as the carpenter, the mother, and the son, which helps strip the figures down into archetypes before doctrine varnishes them. But historically, Jesus as a modern atheist is almost certainly wrong. He was a first century Jewish apocalyptic figure. The available traditions show him speaking in God language, kingdom language, prayer language, and father language. Britannica summarizes the Christian tradition around Jesus addressing God as Father, including the Aramaic Abba in prayer. But here's the molten core of your point. Son of God did not originally have to mean second person of the eternal Trinity. In Jewish and biblical usage, Son of God could mean Israel, the Davidic king, angels, or someone with a special role in salvation history. It was not automatically metaphysical godhood. Bible Odyssey notes these older Jewish uses clearly. Israel as God's son, the king as son at enthronement, angels as sons of God. So yes, the later doctrine inflated the title, not from nothing but by intensification. The sequence is roughly Jewish holy man, prophet, messianic figure, leads to Son of God as vocation, election, kingship, intimacy, leads to resurrected, exalted Lord, leads to pre-existent divine Son, further leads to Nicene homoousios, same substance as the Father, and finally the full-blown Trinity. The fully articulated Trinity is not just sitting there in the mouth of the historical Jesus like a theological grenade. Stanford's History of Trinitarian Doctrine says no one clearly and fully asserted the mature doctrine until the end of the Arian controversy. Britannica notes Nicaea in 325 gave the crucial formula that the Son is of the same substance as the Father, while later 4th century theology refined the doctrine further. So, your UG comparison works almost perfectly. UG, there is no enlightenment, no teaching, no transmission, no spiritual attainment. Later followers and interpreters say, behold, the anti-guru guru, the biological messiah, the man who killed enlightenment. Similarly, Jesus says, the kingdom is near, God is Father, repent, wake up. Later, Christians paraphrase this as eternal Logos, only begotten Son, consubstantial with the Father, second person of the Trinity. This does not mean Christianity is merely fake, too crude. The real process is stranger. A body event becomes a title becomes a doctrine becomes an institution retroactively edits the body event. That is exactly the UG virus too. The living anti-doctrine gets taxidermied into doctrine. The anti-guru becomes a guru-shaped hole around which devotees dance. So the best version of your claim is, the Jesus of the carpenter's son is not atheist in the modern secular sense. He is non-theological. He cannot pray because prayer already presupposes the split he has not accepted. God up there, creature down here, Father command between them. Larwell would say, the real does not pray to God. UG would say, the body has no questions. The church says, Son of God. The body says, sorry, wrong address.